Hey everybody, Eric here from Bloat Games coming at you tonight. Just doing another video in my series for the Index Card RPG, the Deep Dive series. Tonight I thought we'd take a look at the attributes and how they differ from the standard D20 D&D type games. What's up, Starlaw? So, the attributes are going to be the same in the fact that you still have strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. All right, your standard D&D type of attributes. Now, where the first thing that differs is instead of rolling 3d6 to determine these attributes and then getting a modifier based on the number that you rolled for the 3d6, you actually start with, it's a point-based system, so you're going to start with 6 points that you can assign however you see fit to build the character that you want. A lot of people probably who are dead set for random character generation won't like this, but the design of it is very elegant to where really it just gets rid of the abstract numbers, the 13, 14. There's not a difference between your bonuses for 16 and 17. So it gets rid of those abstract differences. Also, what I like about it is it lets you zero in right on the type of character that you're going to want to build. So when you start out, you're going to get 6 points to spread among there, and how you divide those points up. Wherever you put one, let's say in strength, you put a 2 in strength. Then for any strength check that you roll, you're going to roll a d20. You're going to add your 2, and that's going to be your total. Then if you have loot or a weapon or something, there may be things that can change it going from there. Because remember, this game focuses very heavily on attempts, checks, and then effort. So if you're making an attempt, you just add your attribute modifier, d20 plus attribute modifier, and you're trying to hit a target. So that's the basics when it comes to the 6 attributes. But to take a look further, looking at like what can you do with, or what's the most common uses for these type of things. So like with strength, you could use strength checks. They're used for any melee weapon, bend bars, lift gates, lift elephants, whatever. Dexterity, of course, this is going to be all of your normal dexterity stuff. So your stealth, your ranged weapons, your ability to jump over spikes, all that stuff. Constitution, how tough you are, how much code can you endure, intelligence, book smarts, memory, training, math, science, arcane arts, all that type of stuff. Your wisdom, of course, going to be your if you're a druid character or a scout, it's going to give you the ability to recognize danger, the power of intuition, faith, and senses. And then, of course, charisma is going to give you the ability to like intimidate and lead. So there's not for what you use them for, there's not a huge departure. But remember, the way that the system works, it's all based off the attempts and reaching that target number. Now I want to talk a little bit about effort. So you always hear me say that you make the attempt, roll your d20, add in your modifier, hit the target number, and then you roll effort. And effort, if you remember from the previous video, effort is what I refer to as damage. Everything you do in this game requires you to do effort or damage to it. So if you're opening a chest, if you're trying to swim across the ocean, if you're trying to ride a horse back while shooting a bow, all that requires effort. Again, efforts are based on hearts. So if you have each heart's worth 10 hit points. But so if you roll and you're successful at whatever you do, and you're just doing it with your hands, you have no other utilities to help you except for your hands, that's called basic work. You roll a 1d4 towards your effort. So if you're trying to reach a goal of 1 heart, you may have to roll that 3 or 4 times, have 3 successful checks before you can learn that spell, before you can open that chest, before you can do whatever it is that you're trying to do. Then they have what's called weapon damage. All right, weapon damage, these are going to be your non-magical weapons. All right, so any weapon, a sword, spear, bows, axe, bow and arrow, whatever, is going to be 1d6. So you get successful, you roll 1d6, you get 4. You roll again 1d6, you get a 6, that gets you to your 10. If you're trying to do a 1 heart, you just did 1 heart worth of effort, you now got the chest open. All right, magic effects. Now this is going to be any of your spells. This is also going to be any magical weapons. All right, keep that in mind. That's going to do 1d8. And then they have what's called ultimate effort. Let me explain what ultimate effort is. In this game, there is a lot of people will use, like, if you roll a natural 20 to attack something, you roll double damage, or you roll full damage, or there's different games have different policies on this, on what they do, and then a lot of times who you're playing with, there's different house rules on how they handle that. In this game, no matter what you're trying to do, if you're trying to do basic work, if you're trying to do weapon damage, which basic work's 1d4, weapon damage 1d6, magical effect is 1d8. Doesn't matter what you're trying to do. If you roll a natural 20 while you're doing that attempt, then on top of that, like 1d4, 1d6, or 1d8, you also get to roll what's called ultimate effort, and that's going to be an additional 1d12. So you may be trying to just open the chest and all you got your hands, but you roll a natural 20, you're rolling 1d4 plus 1d12. So it can greatly increase your odds of reaching that heart, reaching the next heart, whatever it is. It's going to add up very quickly. So that's how they handle natural 20s and things like that, is with ultimate effort. All right. To give you a heads up, I watched about half of a live stream with Runehammer yesterday. He did an epic 8.5 hour live stream while he was drawing out this large scale map of one of the settings called Ghost Mountain, which he's going to include in the upcoming world book as a downloadable tool. But yeah, he was drawing for 8.5 hours. Through the course of that, he did say that he is just days away from releasing the World's Book, which is going to be the companion or the setting book that goes along with Index Card RPG. Now, the core book has quite a bit about the settings, and it doesn't have very much about Ghost Mountain, but has a lot about Warp Shell and a lot about Alfheim. But he's going to be releasing that next book within a couple days. It's going to be 122 pages, just like the core book. Going to probably look very familiar to this, have the same his art style and his layout style. So that's coming in just a couple days. So I just want to give everybody a heads up that is on the way. Then once that comes out, I'll be getting that in. Sorry, I got my dogs going nuts. Must be somebody knocking at the door. But once that comes out, I'll be getting that, and I'll incorporate that into this deep dive series. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Hopefully you're finding this stuff useful. Like I said, Index Card RPG, the more I read it, and the more that I mess with the system itself and play around with how it works, the more that I'm enjoying this game. It's my choice now for like a rules light game. Really dig it. If you see any of this and this interests you at all, I highly recommend checking it out. Giving Runehammer a few ducats and picking up the book, because it is definitely worth it. But in the meantime, that's all I got for you guys tonight. I'm starting a Kickstarter that launches January 9th, so this coming Tuesday. Be sure to check my page for details. But in the meantime, I hope everybody's having a great day. Talk to y'all later. Bye.